As a single man, if your definition of "I don't want to marry a liability" is limited to a woman who doesn't work, you are just a kilometer away from being an entitled greedy man or potential lazy man. You may likely end up marrying a woman who will disrespect you a lot for being entitled to her financial contribution to the family. This is not me asking men to marry lazy women, but a woman who carries out her role and responsibilities diligently without earning a dime is not a liability and is not benefiting more than the man in the marriage. I know the Western world is the reason many men sees marriage as being beneficial to women more than men, and they are very right if that is the case. This is why I always say it's not everything they do in the Western world that we can copy. We are Africans, and when it comes to marriage and family values, we have the best standards. Everything that thrives in the Western world, there won't thrive here in Africa. That's why we're different people, and the same traditional, and that's why we're different people, and the same traditional and cultural system won't work for us. We will talk about how marriage is more beneficial to men than women in this video. However, the idea that marriage benefits women more than men is a generalization from the Western world that does not hold any truth in an African context. The benefits and challenges of marriage can vary depending on various factors, such as cultural and traditional context, personal or individual circumstances. God, in His nature, recognizes marriage as a union based on mutual support and companionship rather than being skewed toward benefiting women over men. This is also the same way Africans see marriage. It's important to acknowledge that gender roles vary across different cultures and evolve over time in the Western world. The reason why marriage benefits women more in the Western world is largely based on the fact that gender roles are being interchanged unlike Africa, where everyone already know what their roles are. In Africa, we know who is supposed to provide for the family, and we know who is tasked with taking care of and building the home. Unlike the Westerners who share everything, including bills and home chores. The African culture still recognizes the need to assist each other with these roles, but they can never be interchanged. Is the reason why, whenever some African couples relocate outside Africa, they always have issues when they decide to copy the Westerner style of marriage. That sad truth is that marriage benefits men more than women, even when the woman is not working. Here are 10 reasons why I think marriage benefits men more than women. 1. Women were created for men. They were not part of the plan from the beginning, but God, seeing that Adam was alone and needed an helpmeet and companion, created Eve. So for that reason, men need women. A man without a woman is very incomplete. 2. A man has a more open advantage to choose his wife as he can approach different women at different intervals, and women accept from the pool of men who approach them. 3. Men cheat and get away with it most of the time. The chances of a man retaining his marriage with little or no consequences is higher when he cheats compared to women. Both genders don't get the same consequences for cheating. It's a nature thing. 4. Men can travel for months, and the marriage will remain intact. Women can barely do that. In fact, if a woman is fond of traveling for months while leaving her family behind, there are high chances that either she or her husband have emotionally checked out of that marriage. 5. Men can't raise and care for toddlers like women. A 2 to 4-year-old would likely take your life in the process of watching over her and protecting her from harming herself. 6. Men can't multitask like women. A woman can properly do her 9 to 5 job or business and still have time for her children. Men can barely do that. 7. Men are allowed to be polygamous. I've never seen a woman openly flexing with having more than one husband. Faced with tears of joy. Women will allow polygamy, but men can't. 8. You barely see men waking up at midnight to calm a baby. Most of them snores all through the night, faced with tears of joy. 9. The children, having received all the possible benefits of both their father and mother, still end up bearing the man's name. In other words, even her investments in the children still reflect the man in good light for posterity. 10. Provide for his family. If you don't take good advantage of providing for your family as a man, you will not enjoy your marriage. You will suffer big-time disrespect, and it will tell on you when you become too old to provide.